I'm going to start this video off with a bit of a hot take, a bit of a saucy opinion, which is that NFTs are not that bad. I admit that there's a lot of bad people in the NFT community, a lot of scammers, a lot of bad projects, a lot of straight up trash. But I don't think that discounts the technology itself. I think it's really cool. I think it's a nice way for artists to get paid. And I think that a lot of people's quote unquote concerns over NFTs and like them being worthless are ultimately trumped by the fact that everybody buys worthless things like Funko Pops. And almost nobody seems to have an issue with that. But as soon as it's like a digital asset, all of a sudden everybody's up in arms. But regardless of that, there's no denying there's a lot of bad people in the NFT space. One example would be Andy Milonakis, apparently.
It's my show, I'm Andy Milonakis.
Now, you guys probably know who Andy Milonakis is. He's an American comedian, actor, rapper, and internet personality, according to Google. But I mostly knew him for the Andy Milonakis show, which he had on MTV back like in the early 2000s. I want to say like 2003 to 2008, maybe he had it. And he had a few seasons. And since then, he's been doing other stuff in the entertainment space. I also know him because he went on Steve O's podcast. And he also was a member of the Baited podcast with Keemstar for a little while, which is pretty funny to think about. The Baited podcast, of course, used to star Keemstar, Tommy C, and Colossal is Crazy. They had a few lineup changes a while back, and one of those lineup changes involved Andy Milonakis, who I believe was a part of like maybe 10 episodes or something like that. Like he was there for quite a bit of the time on the show. He appeared on quite a few episodes, and he's one of these, traditional celebrities from legacy media who have since been pretty tech savvy and transitioned into legacy media. Given his appearance, you may think that he's like 20 years old or something. He kind of looks like an overweight Leafy is here, but he's actually 47 years old, which is quite interesting. I'm not sure if this is some kind of genetic condition. I'm not trying to make fun of the way he looks really, but I'm just saying, like, you look at this guy, you may think he's like 18. He's actually almost 50. I say that not as a way to mock him, but more as a way to say that he has culpability in the things that he does wrong. And the most recent thing he's apparently done wrong is from this account called Shaw on Twitter, which is an NFT Twitter account building brands, memes, marketing, wannabe motivator at Rollbitcom partner. This guy posted a thread titled "Andy Milonakis is going to jail," the story behind the guy who stole 1.3 million in NFTs. And here we have a pretty saucy, this looks like a YouTube thumbnail here, picture of Andy on the left with a picture of an NFT on the right, and it says 1.3 million. And so I think that it would be interesting to go through this story and see what this guy has to say and see what Andy apparently did, allegedly. Keep in mind, I don't know exactly what happened here. This is all allegations as far as I'm aware, but I think this thread probably substantiates it with a decent amount of information. For a moment, close your eyes. Let's remember the 2021 bull run. Every project sold out in a few hours, prices going up every day. Everything was perfect. This made celebrities think they could rug and get away with it, but they actually can't. If you're reading this, you know what this is all about, right? Yes, we're exposing another tugger today, Andy Milonakis, the guy who scammed millions in NFTs. How did he do it? I ask you to remember the 2021 bull run. Why? Because it was around this time that Andy launched his project, Goat Soup. And Goat Soup is actually an NFT project that I remember from back in the day. If you guys look up Goat Soup, okay, not the actual dish. If you look up Goat Soup NFTs, then you'll see these pictures. And apparently this was Andy Milonakis' NFT. You can see a little drawing of a goat inside of soup there, and it looks like there's a bunch of variants of them. Here we have, funnily enough, an article that says, "Don't call him a rughead. Andy Milonakis updates Goat Soup community after hiatus."
I rock peas on my head, but don't call me a pea head.
At first, things look normal, but this was about to change. Here we have the actual, looks like a launch page for this Goat Soup. It says, "Goat Soup is a fully on-chain Genesis project by Andy Milonakis. The utility will include access to Goat Soup NFT World. There will be mini games that let you earn world, free mints, and airdrops. First one being the Goat Soup NFT song, IRL parties and events, www3 integration, as well as metaverse options present themselves. We will integrate with the best and most promising. Also, sandbox, land, purchase, and test 3D voxels have been developed." I'm gonna be honest, it sounds like a ton of like buzzwords. It sounds like buzzword salad here. I'm not saying that this proves it's a scam, but when I see these kind of like descriptions that are kind of not specific, they announce future plans, but they're not really saying anything that's definitely going to happen. And then you have stuff like 3D voxels in here. Like that just sounds like it sounds like some BS, you know what I'm saying? For context, Goat Soup was a normal project. He made a lot of promises he can't keep. IRL utility, parties, events, art shows, merchandise. I'm gonna get a lot of cool NFT stuff to airdrop to holders. And here we have what looks like a VTuber version of Andy Milonakis as a stick of butter addressing his fans of the Goat Soup project. So we'll see what he has to say here.
And, yeah, this is my first one, but I can't even picture coming out with a series and just kind of letting it sit and being like, okay, well, I made some money, and now you have that image, and hopefully people want it enough for the price to stay good or keep rising. It's not enough. So I will bring IRL utility, parties, events, art shows, merchandise.
As far as the parties, events, and art shows, that sounds very reminiscent of, like, Milady. You guys know Milady, the NFT? There's a big culture of like, art shows and, like, raves around Milady, from what I know. It seems like this guy's kind of parroting that kind of stuff. He's saying, like, hey, we're going to do a lot of IRL stuff. There's going to be utility to this. There's going to be, like, a social thing, which a lot of people care about with NFTs, because it's, like, kind of a social interaction thing around owning it. There's kind of a clout around owning the NFTs. So it seems like he was really trying to promote the idea that this is going to be a long-term project that he really cared about.
I'm going to get a lot of cool NFT stuff to airdrop to holders. You know, not every single thing that I'm going to airdrop is going to go to every single holder. There might be some special stuff where 1% of holders.
This is the most annoying thing when I see might. There might be some special stuff. I really wish there were more definitive plans for these projects that would make them seem more solid, more airtight, and more like the person involved actually cares about following through. You know what I'm saying?
Win, or 5% or 10%. This thing will be alive, and you will see constant action and a bunch of stuff popping constantly, because I'm putting my life into this NFT stuff. Building a brand, creating events, creating art shows, doing all the stuff that I will do is going to start taking up a lot of my time. And I think it's worth it because, I think this stuff is really, really special, and I can't wait to really, really dive in. And
time passed, and the mint started at April 2022. 3.745 NFTs minted for 0.08 ETH for $368. He made $1.3 million of this. Actually, it looks like $1,378,160 of this. Now what? Like every founder, he started posting about the collection, inflating the FP so more people buy. Last Goat Soup video today. Sorry for the timeline clutter. Here he says Goat Soup by Andy Milonakis, and it looks like he's basically just posting that there's a high trading volume. He's posting there's a ton of items, a ton of owners, and he's posting that the floor price is relatively high. Like it is up from the initial price, right? A few days passed and Andy was gone. No more tweets about the project, no utility delivered, not even a mod on the Discord. 3 months passed, FP dropped, community died. What Andy did? Apologized. Literally just said he was sorry. Hey everyone, I know there's a lot of hate for me, and rightfully so. I'm not going to try to justify my actions, but I will defend myself where things are wrong. Is it shitty to be absent from a series? Yes. Is it shitty to not have some community leaders in place to take care of stuff when I can't? Yes. Does it mean Goat Soup is a rug? No, said Andy Milonakis. Now, a year and a half later, and he acts like it didn't happen. Floor price now is $15, a $350 drop compared to mint price. Andy don't talk about this project for more than a year now. He stole $1.3 million and got away with it. This person's basically claiming that he did this maliciously. It was not like something where he thought he could actually run the project and like he got too tied up or whatever, which that does seem to be the case for Logan Paul, whatever you want to say about him. It seems that a lot of the problems with him came down to like internal development. But as far as we know from Andy, he basically launched this project, said he was going to do a bunch of stuff, and then was just like, I'm dipping, and then came back a few months later and was like, hey guys, kind of sorry. And now I guess we have a clip of him trying to ignore it.
And you get robbed and scammed, that's a life lesson. If you don't take that as a life lesson, you're dumb.
I agree.
Is this out of context? Is this his justification for what he did? It's like, well, I was actually teaching the people that I owned a lesson. I was teaching the people that I scammed a lesson about the dangers of the NFT and really the world in general, because there's dangerous people out there. I mean, what kind of response is this? Maybe this is out of context. I'm not really sure. Now, what do we have? People that invested their own money on this and got played, but Andy doesn't care. He only cares about money. And the saddest part, he will probably launch another rug on the next bull. I'm currently calculating how much ETH Andy made on us. I may have financed one of his trips to Italy or Greece. Hope you had a good vacation at Andy Milonakis. I want to ask your guys' opinion. Is Andy a scammer, or did he just not know the responsibility of dropping a project? It's a lifelong commitment. That's why I always tell people not every influencer has to drop an NFT project. Not everyone needs to be a founder. Really, I just don't think he had a clear idea what he was getting into. It was a very different time then too. Expectations and values are so different now than then. The Unfulfilled Promises, not good, but again, don't think intentional, and it's not like he had a follow-up projects either. You called it investing, so I'm gonna call it investing and say you just didn't get lucky, but I don't know a thing about this. Okay, so it seems like a lot of the people in the comments don't actually know a lot about this. I don't know if Andy is intentionally a scammer. To me, there's not enough definitive evidence to conclude that he is that, but what I can say is that this is a horrible look for these projects, and if Andy does a project in the future with NFTs, you definitely should not be investing, given the fact that it seems like he's not really even that passionate about it. He just wanted to make a little bit of money, and he doesn't seem to be showing any kind of follow-through on this particular NFT project. And it looks like even to this day, nobody's even reporting on it. I know Destiny talked about it. You see a bunch of clips from him. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there we have a 5th Destiny clip talking about it, but as far as I can tell, it doesn't look like there's really been a lot of videos talking about this controversy, which is probably why this guy is speculating that he wants to do another kind of, supposed rug pull, because it looks like he's not getting a ton of pushback. Now, do we know if Andy did this intentionally? Once again, no, this is ultimately just an allegation, but I think regardless of the intention, creating an NFT project where you make a bunch of money and make a bunch of promises for follow through for the community and then fail to deliver on that value speaks to your character as a person. It speaks to a lack of follow through. It speaks to perhaps a somewhat wishy-washy moral compass. And overall, I think it's a bad thing to do. You know what I mean? It's bad. And I think that a lot of people will probably call me cringy for this, but I think karma and karmic justice is real, and Andy will get owned in some other way. Maybe it's his physical appearance is the way he got owned. Who is to say? Maybe that's actually reverse karma. Maybe because he was born that way, he gets to scam people. Who knows? But regardless of that, I think it's a horrible idea to do stuff like this. And part of the reason I say that is because there are actually successful and cool NFT projects that are out there that are going right now. And I know a lot of people in the audience are like, okay, Tom, we'll name one example. Well, one great example is from a band I like called Avenged Sevenfold. Avenged Sevenfold is I think multi-platinum rock / metal band, super popular. You guys probably know songs like Hail to the King. You probably know songs like Bat Country. And they actually are running a huge NFT project called Death Bats Club, which actually has follow through. Now, it undoubtedly also made them money, but if you go to the comment section of this video from when this was released in November 4th, 2021, so it's been like a year and a half, a little more, a lot of people are basically saying like, who cares about these guys? Was feeling so nostalgic listening to their self-titled album from 14 years ago, decided to check their profile here and saw their latest announcement was band affiliated NFTs. Everyone's basically just like cringing at them, calling them really dumb. But to be honest with you, I think this is actually a really cool project, and if you hear the founder, M Shadows, talk about it to this day, he's clearly passionate about it. He clearly actually cares about this project and the success. They actually do IRL events. They actually do like merch drops. They actually do like new digital assets for people who are a part of the Death Bats Club. It's pretty cool, and they're even releasing stuff to this day. I mean, this is a year and a half later. This is a recent video. This is from 1 month ago, May 24th, 2023. Okay, 1 month ago. I mean, a little more than a month ago now, almost 2 months ago. But even 2 months ago, right? Actually more than a year and a half after the project launched, they're still doing stuff for these Death Bats Club members.
What's up, everyone? Just wanted to do a little video here and explain what we're doing with these NFC tags and explain to everybody how they play in Ticket Pass and how you're going to upgrade your Ticket Pass. So first off, if you don't have a Ticket Pass, you can still go to avenged7fold.io and you can mint a Ticket Pass with any wallet you want, Coinbase wallet or a MetaMask or whatever. But let's say you have the Ticket Pass and you want to upgrade this thing. You're going to notice that on all of our CDs and all of our vinyl here, you're going to see these tags right here. And then
they're literally continually integrating the NFT project into their latest album release. That is super cool. And it seems like this is a project that they actually care about. I mean, if you go to avenged7fold.io, if you go to this address and you check it out, you can see the website is still up and running. They're still creating stuff for it. They have this like cool art. Clearly there's like there's something here they actually care about. Gallery. I mean, there's a whole like interactive experience here. You can see here they have all their NFTs, and it's obviously related to their band. And I think that Avenged Sevenfold is one of these bands that's pushing NFTs to the next step and proving that the technology can be used for good, or rather it can be used for like cool purposes that aren't evil, right? I'm not saying they're totally altruistic through this, because they're definitely making some money on this, right? But it's not like they're not providing value. They're continuing this. They have a whole Ticket Pass thing going on here. There's merch like exclusively for members of the club you can get. You literally have to have your MetaMask wallet linked here to show that you have one of these death bats. I mean, it's super cool, the stuff they have here. Here we have the sandbox, no longer just a listening experience. Avenged Sevenfold's City of Evil social hub allows you to explore, participate, and socialize in an environment filled with iconic imagery, stories, and music. I know they have multiple people running their Discord, which is like a whole interactive experience, and people are meeting there and like creating things together and like becoming friends. I mean, this is clearly a big deal to these guys. They clearly take it very seriously. It's not just a rug pull. It's not just making money. It's not just a trendy thing. These guys actually care. And I think that NFTs overall get a bad rap because of some of the people who use them for evil, and I would say a rug pull is evil, or not following through on a project like Andy Milonakis did is evil. I would also say there are cool people who are doing cool projects with NFTs that are actually worth checking out, instead of just saying, oh, all NFTs are bad, doing the soy thing. I want to show here that there are some cool people doing cool stuff. Andy Milonakis is not one of them. And if you liked this video, consider becoming a member. For $5 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts, unreleased videos, and the members-only Minecraft server. Thanks so much to all of my YouTube members who fund my content.